Namaste and hello everyone. I welcome you all to yet another live interactive session with Indian researchers in Korea. I will first introduce myself. Myself, Tanvishta Ghosh, I am a postdoctoral researcher in IBS CSC, that is Center for Self-Assembly and Complexity in Pohang, South Korea. Now, I will give a glimpse of about ISRK because today's session is being conducted by them. What is ISRK and what it's doing in Korea? So ISRK is nothing but it is Indian students and researchers in Korea, and it's a non-profit voluntary organization in South Korea that aims to connect all the Indian origin students and researchers residing in South Korea and provide them with educational, research, social, job, and community support. Our mission is to establish the largest community of Indian students and researchers in Korea with strong engagement and interaction opportunities. Our vision is to promote a better life for Indian students and researchers in Korea. Now, ISRK team is organizing live free interactive session for the past 2 months, that is Feb to April 2022, regarding different scholarship program in Korea to help our Indian students to get into South Korea. Now, as per our report, around 200 students have been benefited by this program. The ISRK live interactive session with Indian researchers in Korea will provide you with detailed experiences to know about the application process, eligibility, research field, as well as the selection program procedure to different programs like the BS, MS, PhD, postdoctoral, MBA, international finance, foreign language program in Korea. Now, all the sessions on different scholarships will be organized with scholarship recipients, and we may have 4 to 5 speakers for each session. As for today, we have 5 speakers, including me, and it is being conducted on every Sunday at 6 p.m. at Korea Standard Time or 2:30 Indian Standard Time. Now, today is our actually 8th session, and we have one more session left. Almost all others are being completed. Now, last but not least, I would like to ask you to follow us at the ISRK Facebook for more updates. Now, today we will start our 8th interactive session with the Indian scholars for the Institute for Basic Science, that is the IBS Postdoctoral Fellowship in Korea. I will first introduce all our speakers to our audience. We will have our first speaker as Dr. Bharat Ugale, who is working at the IBS Center for Multidimensional Carbon Materials, UNIST. The second speaker will be Dr. Tushara Venugopal, and she's working at the IBS Center for Climate Physics, ICCP, Pusan National University. The third speaker will be Dr. S.K. Atiu Rahman. He is an IBS YFS researcher, and he's working in the IBS Center for Nanoscience Medicine, Yonsei University, which is situated in Seoul. And last but not least, we will have Dr. Anirban Kundu, who is also working in the IBS Center for Multidimensional Carbon Materials, UNIST. Now, I may first invite Dr. Bharat Ugale, who is working the IBS Center for Multidimensional Carbon Materials, to talk about give introduction about IBS and its benefits and other programs which are being covered by the IBS. So I may now request Dr. Bharat to take over.
Thank you, Dr. Tanvishta. Good evening to all here in Korea, and a very Good afternoon to all in India. First of all, warm welcome to the live session. And I would like to introduce myself first. Already Tanvista has provided, but I would like to explain my background. I'm Dr. Bharat Ugle, postdoctoral research associate here at IBS in the Center of Multidimensional Carbon Materials, also known as CMCM, situated at the Ulsan National Institute of Science and Technology in the city of Ulsan, also famously known as Korea's industrial capital and the rising city. I have completed my master's in science with a major in organic chemistry from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University in Maharashtra, India. Then I did my PhD from Indian Institute of Technology, Ropar in Punjab. Then I completed a director's fellowship in the same institute for 6 months. Then I moved to INST Mohali for my first postdoc, which I did for a year. After that, I joined IBS CMCM in March 2021, and currently I'm working as a postdoctoral research associate in the material science group led by a director and distinguished professor Rodney Roff. Also, my colleague Dr. Anivan will give detail about our centers. So I will be introducing I will give a brief introduction about IBS, and I will explain about the fellowships involved in IBS, what are the opportunities, how IBS works, and everything I will explain in brief. So I would like to share my screen so I can, and also along with that, I will explain about the IBS website, center website. So what is IBS? Institute for Basic Science. And IBS is a national research institute established to conduct world-class basic research. So IBS mainly focuses on basic research. And to tell the history about IBS, IBS was established in November 2011 by the Korean government with the purpose of advancing basic science research. IBS has recently completed a decade in November 2021, and also we have celebrated our 10th anniversary of the foundation. With its leading researchers and infrastructures, IBS conducts world-class research. Like there are different world-class institutes like MPG in Germany, Riken in Japan. So similar institutes should be there in Korea. With this motive, they have built and started IBS in 2011, and their plan is to establish 50 different research centers. So currently they are operating with 33 research centers with 6 different major fields. So why basic research? So why basic research is important and why it is required and why this IBS has been established. So basic science, also called as pure and fundamental science, which help researchers to understand nature, life, and life processes. So it is the basis of all life on Earth, and to develop human life forward or to take human life forward, basic research is required. Also, the basic research accelerates the technology and the technical research, and it answers the fundamental problems as well as fundamental questions. So the basic research is required, and so we have to focus on basic science. So what is the vision and mission of IBS? So with the vision of making discoveries for humanity and society, they have developed and built the world-class facilities in the IBS, and they are providing these facilities to the researchers to conduct their research and compete with the progressing world. Also, it pursues excellence in basic research with 3 different motives. Like first is by accelerating transformation through new knowledge. In this, IBS promotes the highest quality of research that will increase the nation's basic science capacity, and it will generate new opportunities for this nation. And second is they also ensure, or IBS ensures, the excellence in research. For this, what they have done is IBS has selected global leading scientists all over the world. They have selected, and they have provided them the research infrastructure, facilities, as well as the research proposals they have taken from these and they have made them directors and associate directors and group leaders. So they have divided these into different centers, and then the different positions they have offered, like director, associate directors, and then the team leaders. This I will show you on the website also. So also they stimulate collaboration without boundaries. Means in these, IBS welcomes scientists from Korea as well as from abroad to come together and work in a scientific environment. So these are the vision and mission of IBS. We have our headquarters in IBS Daejeon. There is a large headquarters in IBS, in Daejeon. So here is the our recently developed headquarters with different facilities, and different centers are located. More number of centers have been started in our headquarters, and with six different leading national universities in Korea. So that also I will go through in the next slides. So first of all, why IBS? So why you need to choose IBS, or what are the things that IBS offers to you? First of all is the infrastructure. It is the basis of the research. The facilities involving these requires a lot of funds, and Korean government provides these things to the IBS, as these are autonomous and highly funded research institutes. So the basic need of the research is being done. So I think the IBS are the best institutes in Korea. Also, there is a very competitive research environment. This is also the second requirement, so that we could compete with the world, which is highly in progression. And third and most important is the generous stipend. So for the researchers, these are the important things. So IBS also provides high stipends than the universities situated in the Korea. And the tuition grants, these are basically for the PhD students or the master students who have to pay their tuition fees. So IBS also waives off these tuition grants, or IBS itself pays for them. And also when you leave your country and live abroad, the accommodation is also very important. And IBS provides on-campus dormitories with 1 BHK, 2 BHK, 3 BHK, depending on your need. Also, along with these, other benefits also are provided, like separate insurances other than the Korean government insurances, as well as some corporate benefits, and also a few memberships are also provided. So these are these things which are provided by IBS, which Korean universities do provide, but with less benefits. And also most and the foremost is safety and health management policy of the IBS is of highly a good standard, and they also they provide. Along with these, they also offer different opportunities to the researcher to travel abroad and to visit renowned institutes and universities in the form of conferences, as well as to attend workshops, and also for exchange programs. Also, they send our researchers to abroad. Here I have shown the IBS headquarters. It was planned, and also recently I showed you the photo of it. So here are the different institutes. Like here I have shown the IBS dormitory, the library. This is a research building, and this is the administrative building of our IBS headquarters. So second is the budget. So I have shown here the graph of the budget of IBS from 2014 to 20. I could not get the exact budget of 2021 and 22, but I could show up to 2020, and it shows that 5,26,804 million Korean won was the budget provided by the IBS. And also, when you are conducting your research, the research output is also important. And I have shown a graphical representation of IBS research papers, which is highly increasing year by year. And also the patents also are very important, as well as domestic and foreign patents. Both I have shown here. And it shows that the foreign patents are increasing now year by year. I will show something. I will tell a few things about the IBS centers, which are located at different science and technology universities. So there are in all 33 centers right now, operated in 6 different universities and 1 headquarter at Daejeon. So here also is the graphical representation based upon the discipline of physics, life science, earth science, interdisciplinary, mathematics, and chemistry. These are the 6 disciplines in which IBS is focusing and working on right now. So these are the 33 research centers of IBS, 7 in chemistry, 4 in mathematics, 6 in life science, 10 in physics, newly recently started Earth Science Center that is at Pusan National University. Also, we have a speaker from this center today, and there are 5 different interdisciplinary research centers in IBS. So what are the positions offered by IBS? So there are 5 different positions right now offered by IBS. First of them is the researcher, and for this position, you need to have your master's with 3 to 5 years of research experience. So why the research experience is needed in case of master's? Because whatever the positions IBS is offering, mainly they offer E3 type of visa, which is mainly a researcher visa. So in this case, as you are a master, you need minimum 3 years of experience to apply for the visa. So your 3 to 5 years of experience is needed for this position. But in case of other positions, you already have a research experience in your PhD, like postdoctoral research associate, where you have a PhD that is mandatory, and with or without experience also you can join postdoctoral research associate position. And also some criteria vary from center to center in this case, in other case, because that also depends upon the standards of the center and also the criteria based on the center itself. Third position is senior research fellow, where PhD is mandatory with 3 to 5 years of postdoctoral research experience. This is also mandatory. And fourth is the young scientist fellow or young scientist fellowship, which also requires a PhD and 5 years of research experience, which is mandatory. But in this case, the position is for 5 years. But in the above 3 positions, you have a contract of 2 or 3 years, and which can be renewed depending upon your progress. But in case of young scientist fellow, you have 5 years of this position, and it may be extended based on your research progress. And most important is YSF gets a separate funding to establish his or her own small group, in which case he or she can hire a separate postdoctorate or a researcher. And last position that is offered by IBS is a doctoral researcher, or also we call it as PhD students. Here, master's is the basic requirement, and in this case, the researcher is not employed with the IBS, but he or she has to be affiliated to the respective university, because these all IBS centers, they have been affiliated with the different national universities in Korea. So in this doctoral researcher position, the researcher or the student has to be affiliated to the university, and in this case, the visa required is D24, not E3, which I explained before. So when these positions are offered, so these positions are advertised all over the year with every center website as well as the IBS website. The links I have shown here, and also now I will take you all through the IBS website. Just a minute. Okay, you can just type in Google IBS Korea. This is the official website of Institute for Basic Science, or also you can type ibs.re.kr. You will reach to the same website, ibs.re.kr. So here, every information about the Institute for Basic Science is provided about IBS. Then we have research centers, then news about every center. Living in Korea, here also we have global help desk who provides you information about everything, like how do you apply when you apply, and how you get selected, how to apply for visa, when you reach to Korea, how you travel to your center, then when you settle down to your center, then also other things also they provide information in global help desk, as well as there are a few IBS schools other than the institutes. So mainly is the career. Now I will explain this. I'll be focusing mainly on the career. So the positions offered by IBS of every center, they are on the respective websites. So you can see here in the IBS career job card. So this job card is for the whole IBS centers, not for the each individual center. I will also tell you about each individual center, and also our colleagues will explain you in the discussion also. So these 5 positions are now right now in progress, and so there is a title from which center it has been advertised and which department is advertising and the closing date. So before this date, you have to send your application. Just I will go through one of the application. For example, here. So there is a person in charge of this hiring with the email address. You have to send all and be in contact with the same person for the complete hiring process. And so here you will get the recruitment area and openings. So for that, you will have workplace, that is the center, then number of vacancies, then the job category. It can be researcher, postdoctoral research associate, or also it can be senior research fellow. So there will be a recruitment area like material science, chemistry, physics. So here the recruitment area is molecular biology and genetics, mouse handling and genotype, and last is the qualifications. So what are the requirements of that specific? The center can be from any of the discipline like chemistry, physics, mathematics, or interdisciplinary. But the qualifications and the requirements of that particular position, it has to be there, so that only you get selected, and then you have to pass through the screening processes. Like first screening is your documentation screening, and second is the interview, and based on these, the selection is been done. So I think with this, I have explained you all about the IBS career website. Next is the research centers. So here are the different 33 research centers. So if I click here on the individual research center, you'll be able to see the website of the particular research center. Firstly, I was only explaining about the IBS Research Center website. So this is the Center for Nano Materials and Chemical Reactions. You can also find here the associate director, also director, and the group leaders for the individual center. For example, I will go to the Center for Multidimensional Carbon Materials. So here, director, associate director, and the group leaders. There are 4 scientists working, and they have different students. So this all will be explained by my colleagues. So I would like to end with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bharat, for the elaborate description of the introduction of IBS, as well as sharing the website of the IBS and also the different disciplines you have explained and how to apply and the careers and so on. Now I will invite Dr. Venugopal to give a brief description of the cover letter and, most important, sharing her experience, how he got through into the IBS. Over to you, Dr. Tushara. You can unmute yourself.
Sorry.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Myself, Tushara Venugopal, from IBS Center for Climate Physics in Busan National University, Busan. And thank you, Tanusha ji, for the introduction. And here I would like to talk a little bit about my center, which is IBS Center for Climate Physics. And this is the only one Earth Science Center in the IBS. And I will also talk a little bit about how to apply for a postdoc position in IBS ICCP, and how to write a cover letter, and what all points you should remember while attending the interview. I will share my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So IBS Center for Climate Physics, ICCP, it's an international climate research center established recently in 2017 by one of the world famous scientists, climate scientist, Axel Timmerman. And this is the only Earth Science Center within the IBS. And the mission of the center is to enhance the understanding of natural and man-made climate variability and to improve the ability to predict the climatic impacts on hydrological cycle, ice sheets, sea level, and other regional processes. And here, the research is mainly focused on couple climatic processes across the anthroposphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, cryosphere, and biosphere. So the researchers here are working on a wide range of topics in climate science and for understanding the potential impacts on long-term climate variability and to help in decision making to adapt to climate induced risk. And here we have a very good research atmosphere to work at international standards, and ICCP ranks #1 in terms of publication counts among the South Korean government institutions in the field of earth and environmental science. And this is a quick look on what all research activities are going on here. We have a big group working on paleoclimate and human evolution. So the group work on long-term climatic simulations, supercomputer simulations for millions of years to understand the role of long-term climate variability, the past climate on human evolution and the extinction of many of the mammals that we know, like huge mammals like mammoths. And there is also research activities going on future climate, global warming and large-scale climatic events, and also the extreme events like the tropical cyclones. Some of you may be knowing that the number of tropical cyclones are increasing nowadays, and other events like wildfires. And also there is research going on abrupt climate change and sea ice, the couple interactions between different climatic processes. And here, as I have told you, the research atmosphere is very positive, and you will get an opportunity to work with eminent scientists and do world-class research in climate science with good collaborations and an opportunity to have open discussions and to make publications in very good journals. And if you are interested to join ICCP, and if you think that you can make your own contributions, you can go to this ICCP site. Okay. So this is the ICCP site where you can see the presently available job opportunities in ICCP. So at present, there is one postdoctoral opportunity and one PhD position. And I will just show you how to go to the site. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you type IBS ICCP in Google, you can go to this homepage of ICCP. And in the second tab, you can see this job opportunities. And here you can find the presently available positions. And here you will get to know about the project, about your contract period, how much will be your salary, and what is your eligibility, and what all documents that you have to submit while applying for the post. And I will tell you what all documents you have to submit usually. Okay. Is the presentation visible?
Presentation is open,
Okay.
but now we can see job opportunities.
Okay. 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 So while applying for the post, you have to give your CV, a cover letter, and a statement of research interest, which is basically a short summary of your past research, your present research, if you are doing anything, and your future research interest. And you may be mostly asked to give 2 names of references. And other than your publications in the CV, you will be asked to give separately a list of 3 representative publications. So this is usually what you have to give while applying for the post. And you have to forward this mail to the HR here, and the HR will forward to the corresponding professor. And once you are selected for the interview, while joining, you have to give your PhD degree certificate and your transcript. And if your PhD degree certificate is not issued yet, you can give a job experience certificate from your institute, then a scan of your passport, a photo, and a visa form. This visa form will be
Tushara
provided.
ji,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Your
Yeah.
slides, are you showing in slides too? So it's not changed?
It's the documents slides now.
No, it's not. Can you just close it and reopen again?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so this visa form will be provided by the institute. So you have to submit that visa form while applying for the visa from your home place. And the sample for job experience certificate will be given by the institute. And in this, the cover letter is very important, which will give you an opportunity to communicate with the professor before attending the interview to give a clear picture about you as a researcher. So I will also give an idea of the format of the cover letter. So a cover letter should be preferably in 1 page, very short and crisp in good and simple English. So you can have 4 paragraphs in a cover letter. And the opening paragraph, in the opening paragraph, you can tell your purpose. So you can introduce yourself, and you can tell why you are writing this cover letter, you are applying for this particular post, and so and so. And in the second paragraph, you can give a brief summary of your PhD research. So you can tell your topic, you can tell if you have any main findings, you can tell that, and very little bit about your publications. So very short, and it should contain everything, main points. And in the third paragraph, you can tell why you are interested in this position. So for this, you need to read a little bit about the position and the project you are going to work on, and try to make a connection with your research background and the current project. So this is very important. And in the last paragraph, you can say how you are going to make use of your research background or your skills and abilities to contribute to the project in few sentences convincingly. So that's the general format of the cover letter. So try to make it very short and crisp, and it try to include all the important points. And once you are selected for the interview. They will inform you. And before the interview, you have to make a very good background study about the research topic and the current developments that is going on in that particular research topic. And this will help you to make a good communication with the professor during the interview, and also make a good idea about the research activities going on in the center. So this will help you to have a good conversation with your professor. And during the interview, you can elaborate whatever you have told in your cover letter or in your CV. You can present your research accomplishments more in detail, and you can add more into your like if you are an expertise in handling a particular instrument. For example, we have a very good paleo isotopic research laboratory here. So if you are expertised in handling some particular instrument, you can tell that. If you have participated in some field work or cruise, you can tell that. Or if you have an experience in handling supercomputer simulations, because we have here the Korea's second fastest supercomputer here in ICCP. So most of our research activities are based on the supercomputer simulations. So you should specify that if you are an expertise in that. So elaborate whatever you have not told in your cover letter. And you may be asked why you are applying for this position. So the nature of the interview depends upon the professor, and also the director may join. So the questions depends upon your background. Since the center highly encourages multidisciplinary research, you can explain how you can link your research background with the present project, and how you are going to contribute your research abilities to the present position. So try to express in few words to the professor in a very convincing manner. And finally, you can ask questions about the project to express your interest and curiosity in the project. This will help you. And that's all from my side. Tanusha ji.
Yeah, Tushara ji, you can also share something about how you got through in the IBS in a simple, like, how was your procedure? How it started?
Okay. I completed my PhD from Indian Institute of Science, and after completing my PhD, I worked in the same institute for a few months as a research assistant. And then I found this open position with my professor is the director of ICP. He is one of the world famous climate scientists. So when I found this position, I went through the usual procedure. I sent my documents and application mail to the HR. Then I was called for the interview. So I am from oceanography background. And as I have told here, the center encourages multidisciplinary research. I'm from oceanography background, and I did my PhD in climate science. And my PhD topic was modeling the ocean ecosystem, that is the distribution of chlorophyll.
Kind of computational.
Yeah, through modeling. So the project here was somewhat related to that, to understand the effect of past climate on megafauna, like large mammals that have gone extinct. So somewhat my project was related to this. And I was called for the interview, and I
and you got through it. Okay.
So the interview procedure was very friendly. So you just have to link your background with the current project, and the professors here are very friendly, so you don't have to worry much about that. And the research
Nice.
atmosphere, from my experience, the research atmosphere is very positive here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay
Yeah.
then. So thank you, Tusharaji, for
Yeah.
your elaborate explanation about
Yeah.
the cover letter as well as your center and yeah, there. So now, as Tusharaji has already explained about this cover letter thing, now I myself will give a short description of my experience, how I got through into this IBS, as well as the email. I will just show you guys how the email should look like when you attach your cover letter, CV to them. Okay. So I did my PhD from CSR and IST, Trivandrum. And after that, actually, I had another experience as a visiting scholar in Germany. And meanwhile, during this, so it's during the pandemic, I got through this IBS. Actually, during that time, they were hiring different candidates. And I am actually hired at the IBS CSC, which is under with the Professor Kim Un Kim. So he's a big shot in the area of supramolecular chemistry, kind of. But in his group, they do a lots of different stream of research, like optoelectronics is there, biology is there, as well as sound chemistry is there, and so on. So like when I saw this opening of, there is a vacancy for postdoc. So I just applied with attaching my CV as well as a cover letter to them. And soon they called me, they liked my profile, they called me for the interview. So in the interview, actually, I had to present my past research experience in 3 minutes. And after the interview, the question answer session was like very easy going for me. Why? Because they didn't ask much. They just asked which group I am interested to join in if selected. That's all. And why? That was the question. So you should be, as Tusharaji had already mentioned, you should do some background research of the group, what they do, and what are their expertise, and try to relate what you know with their research, research area. So, they will get impressed by your performance. And that is how I got hired and I'm here. So now I am here for past 1.5 years now. And yeah, so that's it about my hiring process. Now I would like to share my screen so that I can show you guys how the email should look like, because obviously you have to write something in your email before you attach your cover letter and CV. I think it's visible to everyone, right? Someone can unmute and tell me.
Yeah, it is visible.
Oh, thank you. So now, so I haven't given any name to, so I've just put XSX. You can fill it whoever the professor is. So start with a very polite manner. So dear professor, and first introduce yourself, what you're currently doing and so on, and what you're applying for. Be clear. So I'm writing this letter to apply for a postdoctoral position in your lab. That's all. This should be your introduction or the first para. Now in the second para, you should write all your doctoral research experience or anything extra you have, anything extra you know, or anything that is highlighting you from others, that is a quality that you have, or something you are expertise in, which very few people know about it. So those kind of things should be included in the second para. And last, you should be always polite, like I will be happy to take up any position if available, something like this. So this is what your second para, which is the core para, of your email should be look like. And then lastly, you should write, I'm attaching my brief CP for your reference, and I would be happy to provide any further information you may require in support of my application. Best regards, Tanvishta. So this is how it looks like. And I hope everyone have understood from this. So that's all I want to share from my side. And now I would like to invite Dr. S.K. Atir Rahman to explain about his YFS postdoctoral fellowship, how he moved, as well as how he moved from IBS CSC, Center for Self-Assembly and Complexity, that is my center, he was previously working, into a new center. So how was the change, how smoothly that process went? Kindly share our audience with your experience and also about the fellowship in detail. Yeah, over to you, Atir.
Thank you, Tanishta, for inviting me. Myself, Katib Rahman. So previously I was in IBS CSC, that is for Center for Self-Assembly and Complexity. Now I just moved to the IBS CNM, that is Center for Nanomedicines. So this switching process from one IBS to another IBS is totally smoothly, and it's also depend your achievement, means what you achieve during this postdoctoral studies and your PhD studies, and what is your main power and capacity, means in your research, and that will commit to your upcoming center. So why they believe you. So these have to write clearly in your cover letter. So as mentioned that Dr. Tanishta and Dr. Tusara, so I am also prepared my CV like that manner. What is my powerful thing and what I will do, and that will be match your center. So using these things, they will just judge you. But this smoothing process from one IBS to another IBS, it is very, very smooth. And if you are staying in Korea, so there is no time difference, so there is nothing. So they just if they just thought, okay, then I will call you via only the voice call. So if you provide your phone number, they will just call you like that manner. So this is my experiences for switching one IBS to another IBS. So now in second IBS, the work culture is quite familiar, like same. You can find each and every instrument facility that is related to your research work actually. So the facility wise, so my experience is all IBS is very good, and you just you have to handle the machines by your own hand. So there is no operator, there is no nothing else. So if you are willing to learn to how to run the instrument and the calculations, everything, so the IBS is the best place for your learning period. So that I just think. And here I am just staying with YSF IBS fellow. So YSF postdoctoral IBS fellow. So that also just Bharat mentioned that here is the one opportunity for YSF, that is Young Scientist Fellow. So the YSF new PI, so they are just considering as a new year for these 5 years, and it has to be extended with evaluation your work actually. And each and every YSF new PI, they have power to just hire 1 or 2 postdoc. So it's depend upon the project on. In my center, it is mainly focused the nanoparticle synthesis for these biological applications. So, but my previous experience is not about the nanoparticle synthesis or like that manner. I am purely organic synthesis guy with versatile applications, biocompatible applications, supramolecular chemist like that. But in that center, what happened, so they are doing some kind of nanoparticle experiment using this organic material. So they just want to synthesize some organic photochromic molecule that will execute in nanoparticle. So that's why somehow my experiences is matches at their center. So that's why they are just hiring me. If I am not enabled to any kind of synthesis or pure chemistry characterization, so they will not hire me. But somehow this is my plus point. So don't judge the each and every center for their research. So at first I am just suggesting you, so what is your capacity, what is your capability, and what you have achieved in your previous research, and what you want to do your next future, so that will meet that center. So this is the main part. So if you just write this is clearly those things, so I hope this will helpful for getting the IBS postdoctoral fellowship. So with compare with the another postdoctoral fellowship, so competitively it is very tough to getting postdoctoral fellowship at IBS. That I just feel that. So it's for me maybe for nothing. So with my suggestion, you have to write clear in your cover letter what you achieved and what you want to do. So maybe that will just match their research part or anything else, because the whole research in IBS, it's not there is a very security in this research. They are not look like claim anything, we're doing this one, we want to do this one. So they are not telling you, so they just judge you. So if this all capacity is matches, then you will just go getting higher actually. So this is the base thing to write your cover letter. So what you are and what you want to do, you just clearly write. So this is my experience in YSF postdoctoral fellow. So that's it actually.
Dr. Atyur, you can also give us a glimpse of your fellowship. I think the money is good, right? It's
yes. So
much
previously,
better.
Yes.
Yeah.
So previously, I was in IBS CSC as a senior postdoctoral researcher. So here, my fellowship is coming from this YSF IBS postdoctoral fellow. So the amount or the salary scale, it's quite look like similar, but here IBS there is another thing. So the salary is depending on your experiences. So according to your experiences, my salary is getting little bit higher. And if you achieved, you are working in IBS, but in between this 1 year or 2 year, if you just published 1 or 2 paper, so they will just giving you the incentive or some salary is getting higher for this next session. So this will happening. So here for this IBS YSF postdoctoral fellowship, so I am getting little more high salary according to the senior research fellowship. So it's only depending on your experiences and what is your work like that manner.
Thank you, Atyur, for your description about your fellowship, YSF, and yeah. So yeah, for all the friends, I would also like to tell you that IBS have this very generous incentive kind of program. That is, if you work very hard throughout the year, you will get paid little high as an incentive at the end of year. This kind of things, probably it's there throughout in South Korea, but in IBS, the amount is really good. And if you publish, then bonus. There you go. So now, I would like to invite Dr. Anirban. Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Please tell us about
Okay.
your university.
Yes. So first of all, I would like to thank you ISRK for organizing such seminar series. I think it will help for the upcoming people who want to come to Korea for the higher studies as a PhD students or postdoctoral. So I have joined IBS in last year, September 2021. And I have joined IBS Center for Multidimensional Carbon Materials. It is located in Ulsan, which is in southern part of the South Korea. And mainly today I will discuss about how I got about the position, got to know about the position, and what is my experience during the process. So before sharing my experience, I'd like to say that I have completed my PhD from Institute of Nanoscience and Technology in Mohali in Punjab. I think Dr. Bharat has done his first postdoc from the same institute. So in my PhD, I have worked on two-dimensional layered material, and it is very important. And how I got to know about this position, actually one of my senior suggested that this Professor Rodney Roth, who is the director of our center, is a very pioneer in this field, and you can apply. Then I started to go through the website and I found the advertisement. So I can directly share my screen, and I can give the demonstration how you can about the and tell about the Mars Center. So if you simply go to the Institute for Basic Science in Google, you will find that this is the website as mentioned by Dr. Bharat. And if you go to the research center, this is our center, which comes under chemistry, Center for Multidimensional Carbon Materials. If you click here, and directly go to this web page, and here you get all the information about the center. I think it is almost applicable, general and applicable for all the IBS centers. So if you look at this, first you see Professor Rodney Roth is the director, who is a pioneer in this carbon material. And there are four group leaders in our institute. And like you see, the Professor Rodney Roth has a different group, that is material group. Then there are Professor Pelinowski, they are mainly working on chemical synthesis. And there are theory group, which is led by Professor Feng Ding. And there is another Professor Zhong Hon Lee, which is the characterization group. So all groups are different, and if you see this, you can see that these IBS centers are already self-sufficient, because there is a theory group, there is a characterization group, synthesis group, and other materials group. So I'm working with Professor Rodney Roth, and here, if you look at this, now it is important where you can find about the position. So if you go to the website, the homepage of the IBS Center for Multidimensional Carbon Materials, it looks like this. And here you will get all the information. Like if you see, if you look in which group who are working, you can directly go to the groups, and this is the click here. So here you can find in which group which people are working. And if you see it from this group, there are a lot of people from different background and different country. Now, from where you can find the position, if you go to the news, there is two options, that is updates and job openings. This job openings is particularly for this particular center, that is Center for Multidimensional Carbon Material. You can also go through the IBS website career option as mentioned by Dr. Bharat, but this is for the particular center. So as currently you can see all the position are closed, that is no open position is available. And apart from this, if no such position is available, you can directly mail to the professors or the team leader, group leader in the center. And whenever the position available, they will let you know that yes, currently this position is available, you can apply. Now, I have shown you the one of the advertisement like this. This is the advertisement for a in which I have actually applied. So there, if you see, there is a different options like postdoctoral research associate, and there is also the good thing is that they also mention the number of openings. What are the how many positions are there? Like if you look at this postdoctoral research associate position, it is under the in the group of Professor Lee, and there is 3 positions. So here they have mentioned all the things. Like if you look at this, this particularly this position, their major should be in physics. Like if you are in from physics background, then they have higher chances, and this is the requirement. And in our center, what I understand that they are very specific about the your expertise, and according to that expertise only, like what they are needed, they according to that they put these preferences. Like this expertise must comply with your with your expertise. This is the requirement and what is your expertise. If it is match, then it is very much suitable for your and then you are very much suitable for the position. Now, how to apply? These things is clearly mentioned here. There are two steps are there. One is document screening. Like I have applied in the December last week, I guess, and I have sent all these required documents in the mentioned mail ID, which is this one. So when you send all the documents, in my case, I did not receive any confirmation mail, but almost after near about 2 months, they have mailed me that you have passed the document screening stage and you have to be, you are selected for the interview. So it is almost informed around 1 week before the interview. And in the interview screening, they mainly look for the judge for the expertise, what expertise you have. So as mentioned by the other people, especially Dr. Atyur, that IBS has all the independent instrument facility and there is no operator. So all the things have to be operated by the researcher in the center. So they are very interested to know whether you have selectively operated any particular instruments. Like in my case, if you look at the advertisement, they're looking for a guy who have completed PhD and physics background, and they have a experience in AFM. And it is actually coincidentally or incidentally, it matches well with my experience, because I have done in PhD, I have also the operator and directly handle the instrument. So during the interview process, they have selectively asked me whether I have operated, which instruments I have operated, for how long I have operating the instruments, what I know. And sometimes it also happen, if you really don't know, then it is better to say no, because in my case, they have asked so many questions, and the typical question, if someone has just done the AFM or Raman spectroscopy and not know about the instrument, that answer is not possible to answer. So this is the application process. And after the interview, I just received one mail that within 2 weeks, you will get to know whether you have selected or not. And if you do not receive the mail, that means you are not selected. So I think after 7 or 10 days, I received the mail, and then I confirmed for the position. And after that, the HR department, who are working staff in our center, they are really very helpful, and they send all the information and what are the documents required. So I have sent all the documents and the things, and I don't know in the last year what happened. It is due to the COVID or not, but they have asked me to send the original documents, means your original degree certificates and all, which is I think in India, for Indians, we receive only one original certificate, and it is very difficult to send all these things. So I have just go to the website and contacted Dr. Bharat, because he have joined in March 2021, and then I contacted him, and he said that also he has also sent. Then I used the courier service, especially FedEx and DHL, and send the documents and then follow the procedures. And when you are coming here, they are very much helpful. They do all the process for your ARC registration and all the things. So in my case, the things happen after coming here, the things happens very smoothly. But before that, I have to wait for 6 to 7 months because I did not get the PhD degree certificate. So this is my experience and my journey from India to Korea, and this is my first postdoc position.
Okay. Thank you, Anirban, for your description about your experience, how you got into your center. Also, yeah, how the instrument techniques or the handling helped you to get you through this interview process. Yes, it's very important. If you know something very specific instruments, you should definitely include in your cover letter that you have these kind of experiences. It will help you in hiring process. And yes, then I wanted to add something, yeah, regarding the PhD degree certificate. So in some cases, in some centers, the provisional will do, but in
Yes.
some center, you need to have your final degree certificate. And yes, of course, in some center, you have to send your degree certificate. So it varies to IBS, different centers
Yes.
have different criteria. So students, please don't get confused about it. So once you're hired, you're selected, they will tell you what is needed point by point. So you don't have to be confused. Now, as we all the speakers have discussed about different about their experience into the IBS, the introduction by Bharatji, the YFS fellowship by Aturji, and Tusharaji about her experience of the ICCP center, as well as the cover letter details. Now let's move on to the question answer session. If our participants, they have anything to ask to any of our specific speakers, they can definitely ask in the chat box. You can type your questions, we will read it loud, and we will discuss or handle it ourselves. It can be anything, you can ask anything, any doubt about the fellowship, IBS, about our life in Korea, maybe whatever it is, you can definitely ask.
We explained so much in details that no question.
Probably. Let's wait few minutes if anybody has some questions. Last year also we conducted very similar session and we had lots of questions regarding several things, and hopefully let's see if we have. Yeah, yes, somebody has raised their hands. Could you please type your question? Yeah. Shantanu Kundu, yes. Yeah. Two guys have raised their hands.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so good afternoon from. So thank you very much, ISRK, and this is a really interesting session. So actually, I have completed my PhD and now working in Geological Survey of India, Kolkata, as a postdoctoral fellow under a CSIR pool scientist program. And recently I have like get an offer from Pukyong National University, that is Busan, but really I have interested in that IBS also. So I have seen, basically I am from life science, biological science background and doing some research on genomics and biodiversity related research here. So I am really wondering about while I visit that IBS center, and I found the research is mostly like focus on the like cancer or genome editing. Is there any opportunity or is there any options to get join as a biodiversity related researcher or something about the evolutionary biology background? Or if any other institute or other center or university, which are the best option if I search in the web, means can you help me in this regard?
Do we have any bio expert here? I think okay, anyone can answer.
Like this is my actually, madam, this is my first. I have joined this platform, but the previous interactive session I have missed out. So if you like arrange any particular session who are joined with that biological science background and doing some work with that different aspects of biological science, it will be really good for me to means find out the suitable position in Korea.
So I would like to
yes,
explain few things. Yeah, Dr. Santanu, it's a quite good question, and many researchers have this question, I think, when do they work in India and they want to go to abroad. So basically in IBS, there are 5 different centers which are working in interdisciplinary area. So I think you should search for this 5 center websites you should go through, where you will find directors, associate directors, and then the team leader or group leader. So in that case, also our few speakers mentioned today, the expertise which you have and you want to work. So with these 2 things in mind, you should search for that, and then you should directly email the director or professor from the respective center which you are mostly interested. And if they have a position, they would put it on the IBS center website or the respective center website. For example, if I say that there is a biological science in Ulsan, in my university, we have 3 centers, and one is working mainly on interdisciplinary. So if you see any professor or any scientist working in your area, you can directly email him or her, and after that they will tell you to apply, or they can also propose a position to the center. So if they find a specific skill you have, what they are requiring in future or right now, so they can advertise a position for you on your request also, if it matches well and if they require the student.
Thank you.
So this is the one way you can do. I think
if there is not already available position, professor may create some position if
yes,
interest
it can be
matched. Thank you.
Yeah, they have a lot of funding.
So also they have funding, and also directors has a lot of rights with the respective centers.
Yes, exactly.
Because what they have done is they have chosen these scientists all over the world based on their expertise on this in this specific area. For example, just now Dr. Aniban told that our professor like Rodney Roth, he's a pioneer in carbon materials. So they have given complete rights to him what he has to do with the carbon center. About position and everything, like instrumentation, buy, purchase, everything. So he has the whole rights. So if they need, they can do it.
Yes, thank you very much.
And Dr. Santanu?
Yes, sir, please tell
Yes, I have little bit suggestion from mine. So at first you go through the IBS website and choose the most promising center for you. So each and every IBS doing research with versatile collaboration. Suppose my center is nanomedicine. So they are just main focus with nanomaterial synthesis. So there is a total 6th floor IBS. So 1 floor is only for synthesis. And next is the nanorobotics. So they are applying this nanomaterial with nanorobot, such kind of cancer and something experiment. And top of the floor, they are doing some biology kind of thing, that is some mammal, mouse experiment like that manner. So they need all kind of scientists, not only for this nanomedicine. For I am the organic synthesis guy, so pure chemistry. So my work is not related to nanomedicine. So if I synthesize something that will execute to nanomedicine, then this nanomedicine product will go for these biological applications.
Means
so
they can integrate the subject.
Yes. If they want, so our center is not specific for this experiment. So if they, so our center is collaborate with Stanford, Harvard, MIT, and Texas.
Okay.
So we have 5 adjacent professor with that university. So they collaborate everything. So my suggestion is, at first you go through the center, your possible center, then just go to the publication point.
Yes.
So in this publication point, you can understand what kind of research they are doing. So somehow 1 or 2 paper is match your experience or something else. So that you just mention your cover letter. I am expertise this one. I will also follow, or I already read your paper that already published in JAX or Nature or something else.
Okay.
So you just mention it. Okay, so I think this is very helpful for you. So at first you go to the publication at that center, then search some postdoctoral. If he or she is Indian, that it is very good for you, and directly just contact that guy after application or something else. So I think this is helpful for you. So for mine, I am also searching like that manner actually. So this is very helpful.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Santanu.
Thank you. Okay, that's all my all questions, madam. Thank you very much. The platform is really nice. Yeah. Thank you, madam.
You're welcome. If anybody has any other questions, please raise your hands. Yeah. Rajesh ji. Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're audible. We can hear you.
First of all, I thanks to Dr. Bharat Ugle for sharing this link. I got many information today. And actually, I have one query. Actually, I am pursuing PhD in IIT Roper. And actually, I am in 4th year student. And 4th year is almost completed. And now I am planning to apply for postdoc. Is it possible to apply after thesis submission?
Yes, it is possible.
Yeah.
It's possible, but the now the Korea situation is totally different from this 2021 last December. So if you have the main degree certificate, then you will just join any workstation in Korea. So most of the thing, 90 to 95% cases, they need the original degree certificate.
Yes.
Yes.
So same thing just now, which Anirban explained, that he had the same problem. He was selected before his PhD, getting his PhD degree certificate means before convocation. Because in India, we don't get a degree certificate before convocation, right? So if you apply and you get the position also, you have to wait till your convocation or you get the degree certificate. Then only your visa process could be done. Until unless you have the degree certificate, the visa process will be on hold. So you have to wait. You can get a position, but it will be on hold for a few months.
Yeah.
Because after completing PhD, students are waiting for, because this process, it will require 2 to 3 months, sometimes 6 months.
Yes.
If it is possible to apply now, then this time can be decreased.
Yeah, you can definitely start. You can
Yes.
definitely start. But
Because
thing is that you can reach Korea or you can get into Korea only after having this degree
the degree certificate.
Yeah, that's
means it's better to start right now, because if you have degree certificate also and then you start again, you'll lose your 3 to 4 months. So it's better that if you start now, till you get the degree certificate, the other process will be over. Only the visa process will be on hold, I think.
Yeah, by the time
Yes.
you can definitely.
So then you could save your 2 or 3 months instead of 4.
Okay, sir. So thank you very much. Today I got many information. Actually, this is my first meeting with him senior regarding postdoc. I got many information. Thanks, sir.
Okay, thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Rajesh, for joining us. If anybody have questions, please. Yes, somebody has raised his hand. Can you take
Hello.
up? I mean, yeah, please.
Hello. First of all, thank you for such a good presentation to all of you. Actually, I have question for my friend who have applied for carbon material synthesis, and he is very interested to do his work in this field. And he applied. The deadline was 15 March, and he did not get any response still. So, is there any chance that he can get some response, or he also can apply? Like he can send some email to like director as Anirban Kundu have mentioned something like this.
Actually, what I understand that the guy has applied and he did not get any response, right? So
Yes.
this is the part of the getting a postdoc position. So you have to
Okay.
continue applying on different institution or center. But in IBS, it is better to send an application or email to that particular professor whose research area is matching with the expertise of the student. This is very important.
Okay. Thank you
And
so much.
after having the knowing the expertise, if they think that you are very much suitable for and they will be can have a good contribution for the lab, then they can advertise and get hired. This is also
Okay.
possible.
Okay. Thank you so
So
much. Okay.
keep on applying and all the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All the best.
Okay,
So
thank you.
now, thank you for joining us. And since the session has gone very lengthy, like 1.5 hours, now we will conclude our session. I would like to invite Dr. Atiu Rahman for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Tanishta. So, a very good evening to all. So it gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this interactive session organized by ISRK team to all presenters and participants assembled here. I would like to thank the presenter, Dr. Bharat Ugale, Dr. Tushara Venugopal, Dr. Anirban Kundu, and also Dr. Tanishta Ghosh for the informative talk and sharing valuable experiences and for the sparing their time for the ISRK and our Indian students. I am thankful to all participants for joining today's sessions. I would like to thank the Embassy of Korea in India and Asian Communities News as media partners for continuous support and encouragement to expand our approach. So I am also thankful to communities leaders in Korea for their kind support. Lastly, I am thankful to ISRK President Dr. Lailesh Kumar and Dr. Iqbal Qazi and all ISRK team members for their restless involvement and dedication to making this event successful. So once again, I thank all present here. So success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. And looking forward to seeing you the different events, and you can share your queries by posting or contacting the ISRK members. So we would like to have your opinion about our program. So this is our YouTube link. So this session will be uploaded on YouTube channel. So if you want, then you can revisit this session. So a very thankful to you all, and for further updates regarding to job, scholarship opportunity, please join the ISRK Facebook page, Telegram and Instagram for your further updates. So thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Atyuji. Thank you to all the speakers. And yes, so we are going to end our session and stay connected with us, ISRK Facebook, for any details about the opportunities, job opportunities live in Korea. And yes, Now, please also join us our next session on the university and the professor funded postdoctoral fellowship, which will be held on the same time on 1st of May. Looking forward to seeing you all. And yes, good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.